Hi everyone, welcome to Nice Driving 34. I must admit that it's lovely to see my reach all the way across the Atlantic in the United States. The mindsets and the techniques I tend to educate on are usually transferable to all continents, and enabling best flow is one of the most obvious ones. My viewer does a great job here, working out that the lorry needed more space to make its turn. It is also interesting that the US doesn't have these stop lines a little further back. I'm not actually sure of the rules on this flashing amber arrow. Did my viewer make a little mistake here? In any case, they reverse back a little, and because there's no one behind, for me, there's no issue. I think my viewer spots the lorry from the left-hand side far before we can see it, because they're already on the way back. Without my viewer doing this, I don't think that lorry driver could have got round there whatsoever. And don't forget, it doesn't just help the lorry driver. Think about the vehicles that are actually following behind. Nice thoughtful driving here. Great job. This video has been sponsored by Car Vertical. Nice. Here's Phil, my crane driving viewer. With where this lorry's parked on the left and the size of Phil's vehicle, there's not enough room to turn in, so the four-wheel drive vehicle holds back. Did you spot the private hire taxi that's behind the four-wheel drive vehicle though? They also had a right signal on. I think they made a mistake. Let me know what you think. Most road users don't look left well enough before emerging left. My viewer does. I'd also like to say a massive well done to the driver of the red Vauxhall for not overtaking those cyclists in the middle of a junction. In my opinion, I don't get sent enough nice motorcycling clips. This is definitely one though. The old benefit of driving or riding in a staggered formation. Terrible driving, but a nice fix. Well done. You can use not arriving at the same point and at the same time to protect yourself, and you can use it to look after others.
If they've got any old blankets or all, I'd have shoved them. Oh God, not one of them's looked.
Perfectly dealt with. No issues. This Car Vertical report shows this 2016 Mercedes CLA has been in a little bit of a sorry state. The colour-coded attention boxes at the start of the report only show it's been damaged though. But it has got heavy front damage though on both sides, and the offside rear door has also taken a hit. But the pictures show even more information of what looks like a structural beam under the vehicle that has been torn away from its mounting point. I think it's brilliant that these reports can provide you the details so that you can make an informed decision on whether to purchase the vehicle you were looking at or not. Looking at these pictures and the information you've seen, do you think this car could be repaired? Let's have a look. The timeline shows this Mercedes was damaged in June 2019. It was put up for sale the following month, which looks to be from the car salvage company. Pretty obviously this is where the photos were taken also. Ownership changed that same month, but the timeline shows a large gap in the information until December 2023. Did it sit dormant and unrepaired for over 3 years? Perhaps, but it was sold in that December and inspected in January with a positive result, which means it's probably back on the road. Please use my link in the description, and by using a promo code Ashley when you're checking out your next potential purchase, you can save yourself 20%. Thanks Car Vertical. A simple tool but an effective one. When you see an emergency service vehicle, if you don't move, it gives them the green light a little sooner. Help that driver eliminate risk. Perfect. I think this is a very nice piece of driving. When you work out there's going to be a little piece of aggro between two drivers and you fix it for them. Have a look at these two numpties behind. The van in lane 2 wants to go into my viewer's lane, but the white van driver has closed the space down. My viewer spots it, increases the distance between themselves and the one in front, and this allows the van in lane 2 to proceed. Just be careful if you do this though, because I'm sure that van driver behind is fuming. Not my clip, but very close to Norris Green Test Centre in Liverpool. Look at the great job that the driver of the Audi does with this learner in front. That's not the best position to do your right turn, is it? I hope they weren't on test. Is this nice driving, or did this guy just want to take his four-wheel drive on the grass? It does look as though my viewer's driving a similar type of vehicle. My viewer in this clip didn't stay still to help the emergency services out, but they still made it really obvious. Great communication. My viewer's following this lorry and spots the item that's flapping on the left-hand side. They bide their time and find a suitable opportunity to warn the lorry driver. They position slightly over the centre line and flash the lights. They also use the horn.
We're talking about now for it's dark.
And it does the job. The lorry driver sees them and stops at the next junction.
You've got a streamer on the left.
A nice little risk reducer for the cyclist. Still a pretty terrible overtake though in my opinion, but a nice thought from my viewer. Good job. Another clip quite similar to the last one, this time from West Derby Village in Liverpool. A nice hold back to allow the bus to make progress round a car that's emerging. That is a difficult view coming out of this pub. And another clip from my same viewer, this time holds back early and creates an easy corridor for the emergency services. Perfect. It's nice to see my viewer approaching and dealing with the roundabout correctly. People tend to arrive a little quick and then have to react if someone suddenly appears. What would you do with this roundabout? If the white van to the right hand side had a left signal on, would you go? Be honest, did you miss the Volkswagen Golf? Pleasing to see this clip. Every single one of them given the cyclist appropriate space. My viewer's in queue in traffic and there are a couple of cyclists approaching from behind, and I like what my viewer does for the second one. What happens to risk if you don't move? This was a perfect response to this particular situation. More proof that best flow for everyone isn't necessarily best flow for yourself. I think that was best in that situation. However, holding back and stopping for people just to let them emerge when you can flow isn't necessarily a good idea. This is another good time to hold back and let others go first.
That's what he gets from pneumonia, and he said, "Yep, here I am." That is unbelievable. The crazy. I can't believe Noel Gallagher told that story, if it's true. I was listening to the radio like, I can't believe he did that. Or maybe I can, because it's Morrissey.
At certain busy times of day can also be nice times to hold back and let other people go first. Else they're not going to get anywhere sometimes.
Senate. And what's happened is that Republican lawmakers have attached to that bill a requirement for significant changes on the US southern border, with more money being spent on border security and changes to immigration policy. And they say unless they get that, they...
Top class. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.